That's a nice high draw.
If I could hit like that all day, I'd be pretty happy.
The first step in swing improvement is to identify what the ball flight issues are. If you had the worst swing in golf, but the ball always did what you wanted it to, then you have no problems. You leave the swing alone. We only change the swing in order to change the ball flight. You said that your ball flight errors with the driver were slices to the left or big blocks and pushes to the left. And so that was what we were going to focus on and try to find things in your swing that might cause that ball to start too far to the left. Your ball flight profile has two characteristics. One is the starting direction, and the second is which way does it curve and how much does it curve away from that starting direction. You described to me that the bad shot that you hit with your driver was a slice to the left. But when you first started hitting, you were hitting really good drives, and they were starting reasonably straight, even some with a small draw back to the right. As you continued hitting drives, you did indeed hit some shots that were starting way too far left. My observations of these shots was that it started too far left with a small curve further left, but it was never a really big slicing curve. A ball that starts too far left tells me that the club face is the problem, that the club face is arriving at impact too open, and we need to look for adjusting your swing to help the club face be more square at impact. The first thing I did was adjust your ball position. On the left was your ball position before I made any changes. And you had a tendency to play the ball a little bit too far back in your stance. I wanted it to be a little bit more forward, closer to the left heel. The picture on the right shows the new ball position with the ball off the right heel. You want to do a couple different things when you're setting up your ball for the driver. You want to be able to hit up on the golf ball. And you had it so far back that you would have a tendency to hit down on the ball. And that also would cause too often the club face to arrive at impact in a slightly too open of a position. As a club comes down in your downswing, it is open to your start line. But as it travels around the arc of your swing, it'll start to square up. But if you hit the ball too soon in the arc, you'll hit it with an open club face. By moving the ball slightly more forward in your stance, it gives the club face a little bit more time to square up. It also allows you to swing up on the drive, giving you a more optimal ball flight with less backspin so that you get more distance without necessarily creating more club head speed.
And turn that hand in just
Now, well, let's just do one thing at a time. Get a comfortable grip. It may be that just changing the ball position is all we have to do.
front toe, huh?
You just feel like you're a little bit more behind the golf ball, right?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely more. A little draw.
We're giving the club face more time to square up.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
It would. You don't have to change your swing. It's just going to be at the impact point's going to be at a different location in the arc, and at that point, club face will be more square.
See, that had a little bit of fade on it.
That was a straight left. That was a wide open club face.
That's what caused that?
Well, it certainly started too far left.
But then it also faded.
It also faded.
It did fade.
Yeah. But that's a face problem, not a path problem.
That's right here.
Yeah, the face was too open.
On impact.
On impact. At the moment of impact, the face was not even close to the same thing as the swing before. There you go. Get behind it.
This is your grip on the left before I made any adjustments. And first I want to talk about your left hand. Your left hand is in a very good position. You have the palm of your hand in the same plane as the face of the club. Tiger Woods' grip that bone that goes from the big knuckle down to the forefinger is right in the back of the club and behind the shaft. That's exactly where you want that. That crease between the thumb and forefinger should go right towards your back shoulder, and yours is. The issues I had with your grip was the right hand. Your right hand was in a weak position, and the pros will have that right hand turned in such a way that the crease of the right hand will be parallel or close to parallel to the crease of the left hand. And your right hand is rotated clockwise so far that the crease is to your front shoulder and is not parallel. So I wanted you to rotate your crease, your forearm slightly toward the left hand, so that that crease would be pointing somewhere between your left ear and left shoulder. And so that's one of the things that we adjusted. If you made that adjustment, we would be able to see the label of the back of your glove like you can with Tiger.
So it's just going to feel like your right hand's a little bit behind the club a little bit more.
This is a close-up of your adjusted grip. You can see how we can see the back of the left glove. You can see that label. That crease is going to your back shoulder. So this was a small adjustment. I don't know exactly where the perfect rotational position is for you. We have to custom fit fundamentals. And not every pro puts their right hand in the same fundamental rotated position. But they're all slightly more to behind the club. And that crease is somewhat toward between the back ear and the back shoulder. This puts the hand in a position to better facilitate the rate of closure of the club face as it comes down into the downswing. So it'll naturally square up without it having you do something unusual to get it to square up.
You're just kind of playing. You're just
normally right there.
Right. So just a fraction over.
Jumped off of there pretty good. Ooh, that felt pretty good.
That was really good.
Now in our first session with the full swing and with the driver, I only made two small changes in your setup. One was ball position and one was how you gripped it with your right hand. I did not discuss or try to attempt any changes in your swing itself. Now you do have some missing fundamentals in your golf swing, both in the iron swing when the ball's on the ground and your driver swing. But I wanted to see the video of your swing before I did any deep analysis and prioritize the missing fundamentals we should work on first. One of the first things I wanted to work on is to stabilize your swing arc. To do that, we would have to learn how to keep the right arm more extended and not let the elbow bend so much in the backswing. This would require you to learn how to hinge your wrist properly. The reason your right elbow is bending as much as it is because you're not hinging your wrist as much as they should hinge. If you hinged your wrist more, it would take some pressure off of bending the elbow. As you release the club through impact, you do what we call a chicken wing, in that you don't release the hands and let your wrist crisscross and your elbows separate instead of keeping your arms extended and the elbows close to each other. Once you learn how to hinge your wrist properly, you will learn how to then release the club properly. This will allow you to deliver the club to the ball with a consistent club position and pathway.